I was helping a couple crawl out of a hole today. And you know what I mean by a hole when two people are triggered and they kind of pull each other into a downward spiral and then they're in that stuck place. So generally the way out of it is you want to at least get up to where you're not totally in the dark. So you acknowledge the situation where you're at, you acknowledge the behaviors that you've contributed getting to that place, and then like magic, the nervous systems start to regulate a little more, and then more of your brain is actually available to problem solve. So that's the first step. You want to be able to get to a place where you don't just have like freaked out nervous system, unable to think clearly. And then we were noticing how both people are just inside their coping strategies. They have different coping strategies, but they're giving each other the same energy because they're just inside their coping strategies and they're not sharing their hearts with each other. And so we were talking about ways that they could maneuver out of their individual coping strategy and share their hearts. But then one thing came to me that I felt like this is really important for people to know about, because it's hard sometimes to push yourself out of your coping strategy. It's a deep groove. It's just so easy to like follow that deep groove. It takes a little energy, internal motivation to nudge yourself out of that and act from your heart. And what do we do to make that maneuver of consciousness happen more easily? This is where you want to do some cross training of your consciousness. This is something that you do not in the moment, but as a couple. If you are talking about, this is what I would love to be creating with you, this is what I want to be experiencing more of, this is the goodness that I think we can have. If you are talking about that, if you are having intentional time to vision together about like, these are the best versions of ourselves, and like, what could it be like if we were operating from the best versions of ourselves? Then you are seeding these ideas into the field of your subconscious mind. It's gonna make it easier in those tough moments to find that motivation to not just do the easy thing and go down the unconscious deep groove, but nudge yourself into speaking from your heart and actually giving your heart and soul what it really wants. And so this is like a consciousness cross-training thing where you are seeding the field with the goodness. You're letting yourself believe it can be good, because if you're like, oh, this is just the shit I'm stuck with, then if that's what you're believing deep down, then you're not going to easily find that motivation to nudge yourself past the coping strategy. Because it's like, why is it worth it being vulnerable if this is just kind of like the partner I'm dealing with and this is the shit that we're living in? But if you are together having these creative, positive visioning conversations, it is going to be so much easier to make that little switch inside of like, in that moment where you're triggered and you could go into coping strategy to then actually live in your heart.